Hello, aspiring patent practitioners. Welcome to another episode in our Patent Bar Exam prep series. Today, we're exploring a creative question based on question 2 from the October 2002 AM exam, which tests the written description requirement under 35 USC section 112, first paragraph. This question from the October 2002 exam tests a concept that appears consistently on the patent bar and is fundamental to patent practice. Before we dive in, let me share 2 critical exam strategies. First, always read the call of the question before diving into the facts. This helps you focus on what's being asked and prevents you from getting distracted by irrelevant details. Second, remember the 3 I's that make answer choices wrong: incomplete, irrelevant, and incorrect. When eliminating choices, ask yourself, is this answer missing key elements? Does it address something unrelated to the question? Or is it simply factually wrong? Looking at the call of the question first, we need to identify evidence of an applicant's lack of possession of the claimed invention under 35 USC 112. This is crucial. We're looking for what would show the applicant did not possess the invention, not what would show they did. Now for the facts. Dr. Maya Wong developed a drone delivery system and filed a patent application describing its components, algorithms, and communication systems. 2 years later, she amended her claims to add a specialized quantum encryption protocol. With the call of the question firmly in mind, let's analyze the answer choices. Looking at the answer choices, we need to identify which of these 5 options shows lack of possession. Answer A states that the application provides detailed flowcharts illustrating each step of the drone's decision-making process. This is incorrect. Let's apply our 3 I's. This answer is factually incorrect because detailed flowcharts demonstrate possession, not lack of possession. MPEP section 2163.II.A.3a confirms this by stating, an applicant may show possession of an invention by disclosure of drawings or structural chemical formula that are sufficiently detailed to show that an applicant was in possession of the claimed invention as a whole. Description of an actual reduction to practice of the claimed invention, ... Such a description may be created in any number of ways, such as with words, structures, figures, diagrams, and formulas that fully set forth the claimed invention. Detailed flowcharts help demonstrate possession of the invention and not lack of possession. Answer B states that the specification includes experimental data showing the drone successfully delivering packages in 3 different urban settings. This is also incorrect. Applying our 3 I's again, this answer is irrelevant to showing lack of possession because experimental data demonstrates successful operation, which is evidence of possession. MPEP section 2163.I tells us that to satisfy the written description requirement, a patent specification must describe the claimed invention in sufficient detail that one skilled in the art can reasonably conclude that the inventor had possession of the claimed invention. Experimental data showing successful operation is evidence of possession, making this answer choice irrelevant to our question about lack of possession. Answer C states that the claims are amended to include the quantum encryption protocol that was not described in the original specification, is not implied by the disclosure, and is not standard practice in drone technology. This is the correct answer. It directly addresses the call of the question by identifying evidence of lack of possession. When Dr. Wong amends her claims to add a specialized quantum encryption protocol that wasn't in her original application, wasn't implied by anything she disclosed, and isn't standard in the field, She's demonstrating lack of possession of this feature at the time of filing. MPEP section 2163.II.A.3b directly addresses this, in quotes, "The claimed invention as a whole may not be adequately described if the claims require an essential or critical feature which is not adequately described in the specification and which is not conventional in the art or known to one of ordinary skill in the art. In addition, as set forth in Grasselli, the claim must also be analyzed to determine whether it contains or recites sufficient information regarding the subject matter of the claims as to enable one skilled in the pertinent art to make and use the claimed invention." Close quotes. Unlike the other options, this answer correctly identifies a situation that evidences lack of possession. This matches the concept tested in the October 2002 AM question 2 through our updated scenario. Answer D mentions that the application is amended to correct a typographical error in a mathematical equation that would be readily apparent to one skilled in drone navigation systems. This is incorrect. Applying our 3 I's, this answer is irrelevant to showing lack of possession because fixing obvious errors is permitted and doesn't indicate lack of possession. MPEP section 2163.07.II tells us, in quotes, "An amendment to correct an obvious error does not constitute new matter where one skilled in the art would not only recognize the existence of the error in the specification, but also recognize the appropriate correction. Where an amendment to correct an obvious error is not supported by an underlying disclosure of the original application, or where one of ordinary skill in the art would have had no reason to find the error, such as where a previously unknown foreign priority document is discovered, applicant may be able to rely on the foreign priority document for support of the amendment." Close quotes. Correcting an obvious typo that skilled artisans would recognize doesn't suggest Dr. Wong lacked possession of her invention, making this answer irrelevant to our question about lack of possession. Answer E says the specification describes multiple embodiments of the invention with varying components and capabilities. This is incorrect. Applying our 3 I's one more time, this answer is incomplete for showing lack of possession because it actually describes evidence of possession. MPEP section 2163.II.A.3a notes that, in quotes, "The disclosure need only reasonably convey to persons skilled in the art that the inventor had possession of the subject matter in question. The disclosure must allow one skilled in the art to visualize or recognize the identity of the subject matter purportedly described. What is conventional or well known to one of ordinary skill in the art need not be disclosed in detail." Close quotes. Multiple embodiments demonstrate a thorough understanding of the invention's scope, which is evidence of possession, not lack of possession. Let's summarize the key takeaways from this October 2002 AM exam concept. First, always read the call to question before diving into the facts. In this question, understanding that we needed to identify evidence of a lack of possession was crucial. Second, apply the 3 I's to eliminate wrong answers: incomplete, irrelevant, and incorrect. Answers A, B, D, and E all failed this test because they actually demonstrated evidence of possession, making them incorrect or irrelevant to our question about lack of possession. For the written description requirement itself, you demonstrate possession through detailed descriptions, drawings, experimental results, or multiple embodiments. Conversely, lack of possession is evidenced when claims include an essential feature that wasn't described in the original specification and isn't conventional in the field. Remember, the USPTO looks for what the inventor possessed when they filed, not what they discovered later. That wraps up our analysis of this creative question based on the October 2002 AM exams question 2 on the written description requirement. If you found this helpful, please subscribe for more patent bar exam prep videos. Connect with me on LinkedIn for professional updates, and stay tuned for more content, including complete question series, organized playlists, and MPEP section breakdowns. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.